Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's gone! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds. Just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official. Finally, I'm
Get a
telling
chance to meet you.
Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show.
And
Come have a good time.
Clearing up, answering the question. I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Nice start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you. Thanks, sir. Thank you for the time.
All right, good morning and welcome in on this Tuesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Feeling good after a big-time victory from LSU women's basketball last night. We have shipped Christian off. He's not here. He's going to LSU spring practice media availability this morning.
Put him in the dog kennel.
To have that covered. He's locked in the cage.
Yes.
But and then LSU baseball tonight in the Cajunomics game as they take on ULL in Alec Box this evening. I was in the PMAC last night. I'll be in Alec Box tonight. Bring it all in. Enjoying the sights and sounds of LSU. I do want to give a special shout out to the lady that caught me on my way down the concourse in the PMAC, grabbed my shoulder, and said no.
Shake my hand.
And she did not shake my hand. But I tell you what scared me, because I'm walking and I get a shoulder grab. I was like, oh. She's like, no. And she said, I listen to y'all every morning. And I said, thanks. So if you're listening now, thank you for the kind words and for stopping me. It was very nice. But it was a nice night in the PMAC.
I apologize for everything I've said if I've offended you. I didn't know
that. That was my first thought. I was like, why are you watching this every morning?
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hit that thumbs up.
Yes. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole deal. Lloyd, how was mic'd up last night? Had a special guest.
We did. We had one Friday night ace, Kate Anderson, in the building. And big message was, do not panic. LSU's not panicked.
Love it.
William Smith's not panicking. Nobody's panicking. So, good to hear from the boys. He said, a very close-knit team this year, which you can kind of tell. It feels like that they do spend a lot of time together. They're a lot of the 2023 vibes, which is what they wanted to kind of bring back and get kind of more of a, get the team building, a little chemistry. They're doing some crawfish boils at people's houses. It's how a team should be.
Yeah.
So I feel very confident going into tonight, which I tried to warn him because I was like, speaking of like having some, because he was talking about the Texas series at Texas. He's like, I mean, I said it on the broadcast. I'm sure I'm going to get killed for it by Texas fans. He's like, it felt like a midweek game. He's like, there's like 7,000 people here. It's like Alex Box has 12. Like, it didn't feel like that big of an environment. I was like, well, Tuesday night, be ready for a little ULL baseball. He's like, what? Oh, he's like, oh, Cajunomics. And I was like, yes, you know. He's like, oh, dude, that's how my parents watch the game.
That is awesome.
So they are aware. I do think that they're a little bit extra juice out there tonight.
I like that. It means a little bit more. Yeah, no, I went and got my tickets yesterday, and I'm looking, and there weren't many up for grabs, which means I have a feeling there'll probably be. Like, I think ULL is going to bring a pretty large contingency.
Oh, yeah, across the old bridge.
Yep, TSAB, that school across the bridge.
The dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's funny. So I have a feeling it's going to be a fun night in the Alec Box tonight. It's going to be, Glimmer for that, the Cajunomics Classic.
That's it.
Is what it is tonight. It's going to be exciting. But speaking of exciting, and speaking of a close-knit team, the LSU women's basketball game last night, that's the lead, because I tell you what, I sat from tip to the final buzzer, and that was one of the most impressive performances I have seen from this LSU basketball program almost in the entirety of the Kim Mulkey era. Like, it was a impressive full 40-minute basketball game. We talked about it last week with Coach Schwartz, and even yesterday, a full 40-minute basketball game, and that's what LSU did last night. I mean, they scored 31 in the first quarter, which is, I mean, it was a track meet. Like, if you watched that first quarter, you were like, oh, we're in for a 111 to 109 finish, the way that game had started. And then LSU, funny enough, in the second quarter, without Michaela or Flaugier on the floor, go out and, Florida State got kind of back in the game. They made a lot of tough shots. And LSU offensively was a little stagnant without those two on the floor. And it was 50-49 at halftime. LSU's up one. And then the third quarter is where the game was won. LSU goes on a 31-6 third quarter dominant run. And the way they were playing basketball, they're getting a steal or getting a rebound. They're kicking it up the floor, catching, dropping it off, easy layup. Kicking it up, catching, kick out three. Like, the ball was flowing, it was moving. A couple of takeaways when you just look at the box score: 29 assists to 11 turnovers, a 29-11 team assist turnover ratio. It is going to be very hard to lose basketball games when those are your numbers. 29 assists is bonkers. Like, going down the stat line of Anissa Morrow, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Samaya Smith, 20 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Cheyenne Wilson off the bench with 5 assists. Like, when you have your two main post players combining for 13 assists. That means when they're catching the ball, not only are they scoring, because, Samaya and Anissa both had 26 and 20 points, they're making the right decisions of kicking it out, catching it, dropping it off, finding the right player and the right play, and just played such an impressive basketball game. And in my opinion, the team that I watched play basketball last night is one of the best in the country. As much as we have talked about them as one of the best, yeah, they're in that Elite Eight. The team that I watched play last night can beat anybody in the country. When they lock in on defense, when they are moving the basketball the way they were. Drive, drop, easy layup. Like, that's easy offense.
It's good old-fashioned good basketball.
Like
what that is.
The way they played basketball last night, especially in that third quarter, there's one clip of, I think it was Day Wilson up to Samaya. Samaya catches it, kicks to Michaela in the corner, which gave them the lead, I think, at that point in the game, was part of that big third quarter run. These are the plays that made me fall in love with basketball. Like, the ball movement, the way things are operating, like, this is boom. Like, that is art, is what that is. That put LSU up 30 points in this game.
And you had a cutter right there with Flage.
Right.
Two passes, too. Like, they were, yeah.
They were, when I'm telling you, like, sometimes you just get in that, like, rhythm, that mindset. Like, they were flowing. Like, everything was muscle memory. Everything was just instinct. And when they get in that type of mindset, they are a very dangerous basketball team. Because that was beyond impressive. And when I talk about what that, and to me, the thing that stood out the most was that second quarter. As much as Florida State clawed back, here's the play right here. Got the steal, up the floor, bang, bang. And then everyone in the arena knew that shot was going in. Like, these type of plays are what LSU's going to thrive off of in the next couple of rounds. That is basketball. Like, that is what James Naismith envisioned when he created the sport.
The peach basket?
When he put that peach basket up and he nailed it into the tree or whatever he did, that's what he envisioned. Because that's art. It's beautiful. And in that second quarter, Florida State crawls back into the game. I think it was 31-24 after one, 50-49 at halftime, which means that Florida State won that, 25-19 they won the second quarter. They shot 10 of 17, 2 of 6 from 3. They made 3 of their 4 free throws. Coach Schwartz talked about it yesterday. They wanted to get to the free throw line. Tanai Latson likes to get to the free throw line. She was able to do that in the first half. And in that second quarter, when Florida State went on the run, LSU shot 8 of 19, 0 of 2 from 3, made 3 free throws. That second quarter was played without Michaela Williams and Flage Johnson. You were able to hold the rope with players like Kaylin Gilbert, who scored 4 points, had 2 assists. A Cheyenne Day Wilson, who stepped up in that quarter, only scored 2 points but had 5 assists. Miracle Shepherd came in the game, only scored 2 points but had 3 assists, 4 rebounds. And then you have Jada Richard come in the game, 6 points. Like, they were able to hold the rope, and you were able to keep Anissa on the floor and Samaya on the floor, who played 33 and 36 minutes. But the reason you made that run in the third quarter was because Michaela Williams and Flage Johnson, on total, the entire night, they played 23 and 20 minutes. They sat the whole second quarter. So they came out in that third quarter fresh, beyond energized, beyond relaxed, fresh, compared to what Florida State had to do, where Tanai Latson plays, let's see how many minutes. She played 30 minutes. Sydney Bowles, 32 minutes. Michaela Timpson, 31 minutes. They all played big minutes. And 2 of the big 3 only played 20 and 23 minutes and came out in that third quarter fresh, ready to go. And you saw it. And that's why LSU was able to go on that run. That's why it's been huge. That's why we've talked about LSU needs these depth pieces to step up. Now, did you get 20 points from your bench? No. But what you got was a good enough effort to eat up time so that when Michaela Williams comes back in the game, she shoots 10 for 12, 3 for 3 from three-point range, and scores 28 points. Or when Flaugier comes back in the game, she's able to get 3 steals, breakaway layups, and make it look easy. 3 assists, And Anissa is able to play only 33 minutes instead of 40. Now, most of that was because at the end of the game she started to come out. But she was able to hold the rope, and 26 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, your 2 post players, Anissa Morrow and Samaya Smith, combined for 46 points, 13 assists, and 23 rebounds. That is the sauce. Like, they're going to be a hard team to beat when it looks like that. And I thought that it was a very impressive performance by LSU last night against a Florida State team that is really good. But when you look at Florida State's shooting percentages on the night, they shot 35% in the first quarter. They got to the free throw line and made 5 of 6 from the line. In the second quarter, they shot 59%. And they got to the free throw line, shot 3 of 4. In the third quarter, they shot 18%, 0 of 6 from 3, and didn't shoot a single free throw. That is domination. Like, that's being in complete control of the basketball game. In that third quarter, Florida State shot 18%, LSU shot 59%. Got to the free throw line 10 for 10 in that third quarter. That's going to be a hard basketball team to beat when it looks like that. And I was very impressed sitting there watching that. Because when you sat through it at halftime, it's 50-49. It's a good basketball game. It's a high-scoring game. Tanaya Latson was able to get to the free throw line. They were able to swing the ball around. They made shots. They made some tough ones. Like, it seemed like Florida State was going to be in that fight. They were going to be doing what they wanted to do, and it was kind of going their way. They were going to be in the mix. And instead, Kim Mulkey and her squad, Flaugier Johnson, Anissa Morrow, Michaela Williams, Samaya Smith, and all those ancillary pieces buckled down and played dominant basketball in that second half. And the PMAC, to me, it was packed. I mean, the 300 levels, I would have liked to see a little bit more. It was packed. It was rocking. Florida State had a decent contingency there. They had their band there, which was, that they were rocking and rolling. They had some energy in that second quarter. The PMAC was on 10 in that third quarter. It was very, very impressive basketball. And to me, like I said, that team that played last night, if they're able to play with that sort of mentality, that sort of rhythm, that sort of flow, they're going to be a hard team to beat. And they've got a big-time matchup coming up on Friday, I believe is when it is, against NC State, who's playing really good basketball right now. LSU obviously beat them earlier in the season, but NC State's been on a run since then, really, and played some really good basketball. But LSU, the way they played last night, that's a hard team to beat. When Michaela Williams is scoring 28 points on 10 of 12 shooting, and your 2 post players, like I said, have 13 assists and 23 rebounds, and you're able to get big-time minutes from your bench, Miracle Shepherd, 19 minutes. Cheyenne Day Wilson, 20 minutes. Kaylin Gilbert, 17 minutes. Jada Richard, 9 minutes. When you're able to get those big minutes from those ancillary pieces that can step in and keep Michaela and Flaugier fresh so that they play like that, it's a scary team.
Suffice to say, they're playing their best basketball right now.
100%. The way we were talking about this team after it was the Texas game and the Kentucky game and the Alabama game and the Ole Miss, where they went on this up and down kind of roller coaster, especially after that loss to Ole Miss on senior night. There was some fear on my end of this team's not playing good basketball. Then they go out, they play the way they did in the SEC tournament. It got you back in a rhythm somewhat, and you felt good about it. And then to start March, they dominate San Diego State in Game 1 on Saturday from start to finish. And then they go out and perform like that. This is the best basketball they've played all season. Complete 40-minute. This is back-to-back games of a complete 40-minute LSU win. Like, from start to finish, they've played the full 40. And they've been able to do it in different ways. And to me, it was impressive to see bench players step up over the last 2 games. Because like we said, that was going to be one of the most important pieces of LSU in March, was can somebody outside of those 3 step up? And to me, Samaya Smith is the biggest. If she continues to play basketball like that, that looked like the Samaya Smith that we expected before she got hurt. Mm-hmm. Where she stepped up in that national championship run. You know, I think LaDeja got in foul trouble in the championship game. Samaya came in, scored a couple baskets, looked very solid. She looked good before that injury. That's the Samaya Smith that we had been waiting for. And if she continues to play like that, LSU's in a very good spot. Shane LeBlanc in the chat. Morning, everyone. Best game that the girls have played all year. Florida State is not a bad team, and LSU made them look silly.
That's what I think the biggest takeaway is. I think because of before you get to like the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16, like the first 2 round games, it feels like people almost expect a blowout. I don't think Florida State, obviously San Diego State, like you saw what it was. That was just a more talented basketball team, and you really didn't have to have a plan. But I think Florida State is a better basketball team than what the score indicates, but I think people are kind of used to seeing scores that lopsided when it comes to women's basketball, like the haves and the have-nots. But when you look around the league and you look around the NCAA tournament, like the bracket, not everybody has beaten people by 30 points in round 2.
Yeah.
Like North Carolina State put up a hell of a game, but when you look around, like Notre Dame, they win by like the 20, TCU 15, but then you get to like North Carolina won by 11, Duke won by 6, South Carolina only won by 11, Alabama loses in overtime to Maryland. Like these lopsided scores happen, and at some of these games, it's like, oh, that's just what I expect from women's college basketball. That was a complete game that LSU played yesterday.
Yes.
Like when you see just those types of highlights, that comes from like they haven't played like that all year. When you have 29 assists and only 12 turnovers,
yeah,
that's winning basketball.
And on the flip side, Florida State has 12 assists, 13 turnovers.
That's losing basketball.
And this is a Florida State team that, just for a reminder, a month ago, February 27th, beat Notre Dame, the number 3 team in the country at the time, and one of the top teams right now in women's college basketball. That is a good team that very well, you saw it in that second quarter, could have came into the PMAC and beat LSU. Like against San Diego State, there was never really a thought that, hey, LSU could possibly lose this game. It was a different case with Florida State in the PMAC. And LSU put on a show. And it was very much impressive.
And I know this goes without saying, but what Kim Mulkey's done at LSU up to date is incredible. Another Sweet 16 for LSU women's basketball.
Yep.
Like this is a far cry from, I mean, obviously if you want to look at the flip side of it, of what's happening with men's basketball. Like women's basketball is in the same spot.
Right.
They were terrible. It was not worth watching, and nobody was going. Insert Kim Mulkey, you win a national championship, and that place is packed. And so you have to give her flowers for continuing to be able to be the Hall of Fame coach that she is, because none of this happens without her.
Yeah, no, at all. I mean, when you look at what year, let's see, Kim Mulkey, the year before Mulkey got here, LSU women's basketball was, let's look at this record. This was the condensed season, I think.
Yeah,
LSU was 9-13 overall, 6-8 in the SEC. And when you look ahead to this season, LSU was 30. They're now 30-5 overall, 12-4 in the league, and 19-1 at home. 19-1 at home. At home in 2020-2021 season, they were 4-6. 19-1 at home. That's the most home wins LSU's had in a season. And that goes to show the culture that has been built in LSU women's basketball and the support that has been built. I guarantee you, a lot of those fans that were in the PMAC didn't go to women's basketball games before 2022. There's probably a lot of them that are still sitting there learning the sport of basketball while they're watching it. But they know there's a winner there. They know that they're going to get a good product when they're there, that they're going to have fun when they're there, that there are other fans, and there's going to be this atmosphere that's beyond impressive when they're there. Like, we talk about LSU football, LSU baseball, and the excitement and the energy that's built in Tiger Stadium and Alec Box. That is years and decades of being built up. Like, yes, Tiger Stadium's been special for a long time, but it's been built up over decades. And there's been down years here and there. But, I mean, from when Saban got here until now, it's just been this run of success that has made Tiger Stadium even better than what it is, where they've been able to add more seats and more. Women's basketball has been good for, this is year 4?
Mm-hmm.
And it's rocking in the PMAC. It was in a very similar spot to where men's basketball is right now. And they brought in a culture changer, a culture builder. And they've got a dominant product that fans are buying tickets every single time to go support. As much as last night was a March Madness, yeah, it was a March Madness game. Like, it's a big deal. It's an NCAA tournament game. But the LSU fans showed out. I was driving down Nicholson to drop the camera and credentials off to Christian at his wherever he lives. And I'm driving down Nicholson on my way there, and I look to my right when I'm passing up like Mathern's and Fat Boy's Pizza and all, everything on that little strip right there. And all I see is just purple and gold everywhere. And I was like I'm driving up, I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
something's cooking.
It's going to be a night. And it was a very, not only impressive performance by the team, it was an impressive performance by the coaching staff. There were a handful of plays that were drawn up that were nice. And the defensive scheme that they had in that game, especially that third quarter, that created the dominant run that it was, everything they did started on the defensive end. As much as they scored the 31 points and they were dropping the ball off, making it look easy, it all started on the defensive end. The play that you saw where Cheyenne throws it up the court to Samaya, kicks it out to Michaela, started with a steal, forcing a bad pass, forcing a bad shot, corralling the rebound, getting the ball up the floor, and running. So credit to the coaching staff for the job they did. I would love to know the numbers on how many kills there were in that game, especially that third quarter. And from there on, impressive performance from the fans to show up and show out the way they did. Oh, but my favorite thing about the women's basketball games is my guy. I wish I knew his name to shout him out. He gets up in the biggest moments of we're in the middle of the third quarter. LSU's kind of going on a run. He comes around, walks up the steps and the ramp, and he's like, "Get up! Get loud! Let's end it here!" Like, firing everybody up. And like, I wanted to just walk through and just hug him and just get fired up, like follow right behind it. Because he could feel the energy in the place that it was getting to that point. They're starting to go on that run. And from what I can tell, because I've gone to a handful of games this year, and he's done it pretty consistently. I'm sure this is a night in, night out thing.
Oh, this is what he's born for, though.
100%.
Tournament game in March and the PMAC. Like,
Come on.
it gets all those regular season reps. Like, you better show out for the postseason.
Right.
But that's the culture that's been built. Like,
Yes.
Hunter Hall asked, how much NIL did Kim Mulkey get? I mean, it started in July of 2021, so I don't even know if it was really a thing yet. But Kim Mulkey is NIL.
Yeah.
Like, she brought her own funding and brought her own fans. And it's like that's how she builds programs. If you can do it at Baylor, you can certainly do it at LSU. And to see her kind of crowdsource an LSU basketball team on her own and get the PMAC to where it is and sell season tickets because she was beating the streets when she got here to going to dinners, being in the public, and being like, do you have season tickets? You buy your season tickets? Like, there was never a conversation you could have without her basically forcing you to buy season tickets.
Right.
And this is like the fruits of her labor when you see a full PMAC for a playoff game and that sends you to the Sweet 16. Like, you made a home field advantage for yourself or a home court advantage that not a lot of people get, and that is not – it's a far cry, like I said, from when you go to a men's basketball game and you could sit on the – you could put your feet on the floor if you wanted. You could take a three.
And to turn the page to that side of the teams in the PMAC, the men's basketball program currently has 3 players in the transfer portal. Mike Williams joins Corey Chest and Tyrell Ward as the 3 Tigers in the portal. Ward, obviously, not really a surprise, didn't play with LSU for LSU this season, wasn't with the team this year. That was announced before the season began. I think game 1, it was announced that Tyrell wasn't with the team. He has entered the portal. Corey Chest had not played for the last handful of games for LSU. He enters the portal as well. And then Mike Williams, also not really a surprise because of the lack of minutes he had logged up until later in the SEC season. Those were the 3 portal entries. Nobody surprising. And really, the position LSU men's basketball is in right now, anyone that enters is not going to be surprising. The whole team could enter. It would not be surprising. Now, would it be nice to maybe keep a couple of pieces? Yeah. But, I mean, the position LSU men's basketball is in right now, you need a rebirth, a wipe the slate clean, reset, build the roster, build a winner. And the difference, because like we said, right now for LSU men's basketball feels a lot like where women's basketball was before Mulkey got here. But you went out and you got Kim Mulkey, who is a dominant presence in the sport. That's not going to happen in men's basketball. But you're getting some financial support on the NIL realm for men's basketball. And now it's time for Matt McMahon to go beat the streets and raise even more money in addition to what you're getting already, the raised support. And build a roster that's going to be a winner. Because what you see from women's basketball is you bring a winner into the PMAC, they'll pack it out. I don't care where the PMAC ranks among arenas in college basketball. Is it number 1? No. Is it in the top 10? No. That place was rocking. And if you bring them a winner in men's basketball, it can be the same way for you. Because it was. Think back a couple years ago. I remember vividly, I think it was the 2021 season. You opened SEC play with Tennessee and Kentucky in the PMAC. And that place was on tilt. When Tari Eason's posterizing people, Xavier Pinson's hitting whatever, like, it can look like that for men's basketball, but it has to be a winner. And right now, it's not a winner. There's not really a culture, any excitement around it. And even if you go out and you build a pretty solid roster this offseason, come game 1, there's still not going to be a lot of excitement. You got to go and create it. And it was on the way to being created last year. Beating Florida State at home. Going on the road, defeating Kansas State, a ranked team. And you have to do that. And you see the potential of what you can build at LSU. Is this a football school? 100% through and through. Is baseball the second most popular sport? Yes. Do they have strong football and baseball cultures and a lifeblood in those two sports? 100%. They will always be the top two. But LSU fans love a winner more than they love one single sport. And last night, and women's basketball as a whole under Kim Mulkey has proven it. You bring them a winner, LSU fans will show out in droves.
Doesn't matter the sport, it's the brand.
Yes.
They go look at gymnastics, look at softball, look at baseball. Like, it's literally you have one left behind. And a lot has been made of McMahon, and I think a lot of people are out on him regardless of what story comes out about NIL and who's in the transfer portal, who they get. I think a lot of people are going to still reserve judgment regardless if you bring in what you did in football. Let's say you bring in the number one transfer portal class in the country and he gets the NIL backing, he's able to do that. I still think people will watch with their guard up around McMahon and what he does for LSU basketball. If he's able to win, I think people will be back in. But it's going to take almost an entire – it'll also have to get through like when conference play starts.
Yeah.
Like, because I think a lot of people were interested in this year until you got to conference play. Like, I was one of them. I was watching them play anytime they were on TV. Like, they were playing an entertaining brand of basketball, and you could see it trending in the right direction. Then the wheels fell off. But you also are playing in a league that has how many teams make the Sweet 16?
7.
From the SEC. Nearly half of the bracket is the Southeastern Conference. So you're up against it. Like same thing with, if you were trying to rebuild in football. You look around the conference, you go, this is the blue bloods of the sport. That wasn't always the case for basketball, but the SEC has shoehorned its way into dominating baseball, football, and now basketball.
Yeah.
And it's an uphill climb because if you're one of the have-nots in the basketball realm, which it is, LSU does not spend any money. What's the number that came out? It's like between $1 and $2 million they spend on their roster. How much did Auburn spend?
8.
There's your difference.
Yep. And that's why Auburn's the top of the country and LSU's the bottom of the conference. Staba07 in the chat. What makes y'all think that McMahon is going to be able to completely rebuild the roster now?
You don't have a choice.
After he hasn't to this point. There's already been a complete reset when he got here. I'm not saying that he's going to do it. Do I have confidence in Matt McMahon? Yeah, I mean, like...
That didn't sound confident.
Do what?
That didn't sound confident.
There is confidence in him. Like, I believe he is a good basketball coach. And he needs to go get the pieces. I think the addition of David Patrick is going to get him in some rooms where he can get those pieces. But like we talked about with football a little bit yesterday, where we were talking about the run game and special teams and all these things, I'll believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at. And so I'm not saying that he's going to go out and completely rebuild the roster and do it. But he's getting the financial backing. He's got a good enough staff, and I believe with him, Tasman Mitchell, and David Patrick. Tasman and David Patrick are two guys that can go get you good basketball players. Tasman was on staff when Wade was here. Tasman is a Louisiana legend. And David Patrick is a guy that's going to get LSU in a lot of rooms that they probably weren't in before he got here. So do I have confidence he'll get it done? I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I'm at. When he's getting the financial backing, the number in NIL is getting raised. That's going to play a big role in getting the job done 100%. I mean, you saw it in football. Obviously, football's a different monster, but you saw what happened whenever the money was raised and put in. They went out, they got the number one portal class, when 2 years ago they couldn't get a defensive lineman from TCU. They were having to settle for JVR Suggs, who was at a small school, and they were having to get different guys like that out of the portal. Now they're going and they're putting together the number one recruiting class. The money is going to help, but I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I'm at with LSU men's basketball. Matt McMahon has an opportunity to make something happen with this NIL backing. Go out, put a squad together, bring some excitement back, be competent in the league, and you make the tournament. That's what I learned this year about being a part of the SEC. is if you are competent in the league, you make the tournament. Because when I look at 14 teams in the SEC made the tournament, Texas was in the last four in or whatever, where they had to play against Xavier. They ended up losing, but they were a part of it. And if I can pull up the conference here, Texas had 6 conference wins. Oklahoma was in the tournament, 6 conference wins. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Arkansas was in the Sweet 16, Georgia, all 8 conference wins made the tournament. LSU had 3 conference wins. So if LSU wins 3 more conference games, 4 more conference games, they have a shot at making the NCAA tournament. Now, that's not going to be the same every single season, but
they beat this Arkansas team.
They beat Arkansas. The Ole Miss team that's in the Sweet 16, they lost because of Ole Miss went on a 13-1 run in the final 3 minutes and beat you by 2. They lost to Tennessee by 6 points. They lost to Florida by 14, but were winning by a substantial margin at halftime. Like, it doesn't feel like it, but you were somewhat close. You lost to Vanderbilt by 8 points at the beginning of the conference. You lost to Alabama by 7. It's
crazy to look at this schedule and see just how
the
wheels fell off.
Yes. And if you are LSU men's basketball, you're looking at the SEC and saying, okay, we win 8 games in the conference. We go below 500 in the conference and handle our out-of-conference schedule the way they did this season, because they did. They beat Florida State. They beat, who was it? Kansas State. They beat UCF. They lost to a Pitt team that was pretty good, but they handled these out-of-conference competitions and went in the SEC play and only won 3 games. You turn that number into 8, you have a chance of making the tournament. That's the goal next season. You don't want to become a national championship, Sweet 16 run, Final Four. Like, that's not what the expectation is. The expectation is be competent in the league. Because if you're competent in the SEC, you've got a chance.
Yeah, the committee has shown that, at least after this year, and it's probably going to be proven to be true next year after you have 7 teams get into the Sweet 16 from the SEC. I don't know why they wouldn't continue to have bias towards the league. If you put in 14 teams, 7 get to the Sweet 16, I think they're probably going to look favorably on the SEC again next year, and much to the chagrin of the rest of the college basketball world, but it's proven to be true.
Yeah.
It is the best conference in college basketball.
7 of the 16 in the Sweet 16. 14 teams into the NCAA tournament, into the field of 68. So, when you look at it, there were, 14 out of 68 is 20%. 7 of 16 is 44%. 44% of the remaining teams are SEC basketball teams that LSU faced this season. One of them they beat. Ole Miss they should have beat. You go down the list, like, that's what's needed next season, is build a roster that can be competent in the league. You've got a chance to make the tournament. That's all you got to do, is give yourself a chance to make the tournament, even if it's a first 4-in game, or a last 4-in game. Like, that's fine. If you're playing for an 11 seed like Texas did, fine. It's better than not playing basketball in March.
You're as far away from playing basketball as you can be. You don't have a team.
Like,
you couldn't play if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not going to be upset if they are if it's a last 4-in game next season, they're fighting for an 11 seed. I'm not going to scoff at it because of what we've seen the last 3 years where they're not playing, or they're making the NIT and losing in the first round,
or not even going to the NIT,
or passing on it. And this is the offseason to make it happen.
Have to.
3 players already in the portal. I promise you this is not the end. There will be more. this is Matt McMahon's chance to show it. Like, Lloyd, would I be wrong in saying that it's essentially this is his last go round? Like, make it happen, or it's
I think it all, like, because you've already, the worst thing that can happen to a sport team or fandom is when apathy sets in. It still feels like there's a little bit of consternation around, like, people are still mad enough to care about men's basketball, and I don't know if they're just mad at McMahon and mad at the product, and they just want to see him go. But it feels like if he were to be fired this year, like if he would have gotten the vote of confidence and he gets let go, I think that probably would have been like the popular consensus for what people wanted to happen. So McMahon has to be able to kind of swing the general consensus back to his side, as that they want you to be the men's basketball coach, because you talked about it a little bit last week. It was between McMahon and the coach at Florida for these, like, the LSU and Florida job, like two relatively high-profile jobs from two mid-major coaches. You see what's happening at Florida. That's the only real line you can draw for the basis of McMahon's success and who to base it off of, because you had the chance to hire one or the other.
Right.
And obviously Florida is getting a lot more of the NIL backing, but it's the same thing we have with football. You're out of excuses. If it is deemed so that you're getting all of this funding, and that's what's been talked about. It's not he can't get the funding. It's that LSU is allocating more funds to basketball.
Right.
So with that in mind, you're out of excuses. If you're able to get the funding that you like, he hasn't been on the BK train where he's pounding the table and saying, "Look, we need more money."
Right.
He's been relatively quiet about it, and now you're seeing this is a chance for McMahon to start over essentially at LSU, because I don't know if how these conversations are going where they're trying to lobby to keep some of these players, or they want to see them leave and be like, good, we gave it a shot, you go your way, I'll go my way, and rebuild this thing through the portal. Because if that's the conversation, then you feel a little bit different about, mass exodus from LSU basketball, nobody wants to be here.
Right. It
could very much be a 50-50 decision. Like, I'm good if you're good. Like, not even love to have you. Like, we're starting over.
Right.
And if that's the case, then you can't doom and gloom because everybody's leaving the roster. It's this is a hard factory reset of LSU basketball and what direction they want to go.
Yeah.
Glad Trades didn't hit the portal.
Right. When I look at the roster, you have Victorious Miller, who I think that they would like to keep. Jordan Sears is graduating. Mike Williams, I personally would like to keep. I don't think the coaching staff is surprised he's in the portal. They didn't play him. Curtis Givens III, I would like to keep. Jai Bailey graduating. Cam Carter graduating. Robert Miller, keep. Noah Boyd, didn't see him this season. Trades is a football guy. Jalen Reed should come back from the injury. I say keep. Damian Collins, I would be fine if they kept him on the roster. I wouldn't be surprised if he hit the portal, but I thought that you saw a role for him ironed out this season. Corey Chest in the portal. Tyrell Ward in the portal. Derek Fountain graduating. So when you're looking at guys, Victorious Miller, Curtis Givens, Robert Miller. Those are the three that I say keep those guys on the roster. Damian Collins could be the fourth. You're bringing in three very good freshmen. And to me, the only one that I'm dead set on make sure he's on the roster next season is Robert Miller III. Mm-hmm. I like Curtis Givens. I like Victorious Miller. I think that they would like to keep all three of those, and Damian Collins possibly as well. Outside of that, you're bringing in three true freshmen. Go out in the portal, build the rest of your roster. Keep last year's freshmen, bring in three more freshmen. That's 6 players. Go out and get 6 or 7 out of the portal. You've got $1 million to give each of them. Go do it. And Sarah Almeida in the chat, let's have a goal of barely making it. That's not the ultimate goal.
But
for next season, that's a step in the right direction. I believe if that's what happens, Matt McMahon keeps his job.
If he makes the tournament, he'll keep his job. If he doesn't, he'll probably lose his job.
Unless they go 35-0 and they lose in the first round, but I still think that's a step in the right direction. So
18th ranked recruiting class, Mazza Mosley, Jalen Reese, Matt Gilhool.
Yep.
Those
are
the three that you have signed, all 4 stars. But at some point, that'll be a part of the conversation, too, as to is 18th good enough?
Andrew Messina, outside of money, why would any basketball player transfer to LSU?
We don't know.
Playing time, SEC, money. Those are the 3 things. It's playing time in the best conference in basketball, and we'll pay you. And LSU's still a cool school. Like, you can still bring them to football games.
It's just
and show
when
them
you
that
have to pitch them to be a part of the come-up-its of LSU basketball. It's on you.
I mean,
if you want,
remember
that's the selling point.
Shaquille O'Neal and Pete Maravich, and like show them the retired jerseys. And do you want to be part of the rebirth of this brand?
I mean, it has to stink to be the only faction of the school. When you go to the lunch table, it's like, oh.
Yep.
Everybody else having a good time.
Yeah.
Winning.
Baseball.
I win here, I win there.
Football.
Softball. Gymnastics, number 1 overall seed.
Gymnastics.
And then you got
men's golf, tennis, track and field, men's track and field, women's track, like
swimming and diving.
Everybody. So that's where LSU men's basketball right now. Charlie Oliver. This whole show has been LSU men's hoops. Ugh, y'all going to make me go elsewhere this morning. I really think it's only really been the last
20 minutes. 5 kills in the third quarter by the women's team.
I had a feeling. That's 15 empty possessions in the third quarter.
Charlie Oliver, you have a better shot pissing in a hot sauce bottle than LSU having success in basketball anytime soon. I've never heard that.
And I tell you what, that might, like, I will not call anyone out for having that type of mindset for LSU men's basketball right now. So to me, those are the 3 things that LSU has to pitch for men's basketball. You're going to have playing time in the best conference of basketball that just put 14 teams in the tournament, has 7 in the Sweet 16, and
you can get paid.
You'll be taken care of financially. Rob Boudreaux, it's all money. You pay, they will come.
Absolutely.
The money's going to play a quite a substantial role in what's built roster-wise. So
until then, we will see.
Until then, we shall see. Don't forget that when we start talking about LSU men's basketball and it gets all crappy, that's why we bring up our sponsor.
Do you feel down in the dumps?
Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. It really is crazy, the drop down from talking about the women's basketball game last night to
it's 2 different emotions that are elicited.
And it was quite the quick shift. But we're now feeling crappy. Barker Brothers Plumbing and Work is there for you when you feel crappy or when you clog your toilet or have plumbing issues. Call them at 225-776-2431. No social media, no website. That number's the only way to contact them. 225-776-2431. Mention the Culotta Show for 15% off. We're going to take a quick break to set up hour number 2 here and bring some more excitement back as we talk about anything other than LSU men's basketball. We'll be right back after this.
Red Stick Sports.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done, yeah. Everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done link with Big Four. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm a Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Hey, Chino. Cut my headphones up, bro. Yeah, right there. Now I'm focus on getting deposits. Evil in the way, now I'm just driving around it. They said I need a soul searching, I already found it. I ain't like my other side, now I'm sounding astounded. Drive by and let it ride like I'm whipping a Tesla. Pressure never fazed me, cause I'm bigger than pressure. I'm on my grind, bullshit, can't fit on my schedule. I'ma do what's best with me, you can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone to November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Heat up DJ, tell them go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce the bat like John Morant, you know that.
Welcome back as we begin hour number 2 here on this Tuesday. Much better weather.
Oh, the wetter the better.
Much better
weather. You're with
today.
me, leather.
I hate screwing up words. It's the worst feeling. Max is going to kill me for that.
Oh,
little
yeah.
brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all go back and forth.
Anytime I stutter, man,
That's why we need Christian here.
It is. We were talking about something about some sort of segment. We were talking about the Christian Mingle segment. And Christian was like, well, that just wouldn't work if we were talking about anybody else. He was like, I can't make fun of you and Lloyd. I was like, yeah, that's the point.
That's
I was
the
like,
point.
that's why we make fun of you.
You're describing how bullying works.
Right.
You're getting bullied.
Like, yeah, you can't bully us.
No.
It doesn't work the same way.
It's not funny.
But
speaking of bullies,
better weather, and that means tonight in the Alec Box Stadium, LSU baseball versus ULL. Like Lloyd said, speaking of bullies, LSU will host ULL, the Raging Cajuns, tonight. And what I saw, Hunter Hall wanted me to hit the buzzer. LSU will face the Raging Cajuns tonight. And last night, from what I saw, one Jay Johnson joined the Ragin' Review, the podcast that has many LSU fans upset with them.
I wish you would have told me that.
They were associated
would have
with...
steered him clear of that filth.
Yes. They were associated with the death or the imprisonment. He's not dead. Of one Cajunomics.
He's free.
And I think the last question they asked me, and we were just listening to it a little bit in the break, was essentially begging Jay Johnson for a weekend series.
It was disgusting.
Like, Coach, we've been wanting for a while a weekend series. Like, I get it. Like, you want a weekend series. I understand. Don't go ask that. You have the head baseball coach on your podcast.
And you're begging for a game.
And you're asking for the weekend series.
Look, you get one. Enjoy it.
Enjoy the one you have. It's going to be fun
Why
tonight.
do you want a weekend series against LSU to get swept? Just take your 1L tonight and go home.
And maybe you'll win it. You know, like, you can have a better chance at winning one game than you have a series. Like,
sure.
Why would you want 3 chances to lose?
You're lucky if you get 9 innings.
I mean, just enjoy your one. But I just couldn't believe. And Jay was like, yeah, I mean, with the RPI and the scheduling, you know, it just doesn't really, there wasn't really a way to make it map out this season. I looked at the weekend with Dallas Baptist and thought maybe we can make that a 3-teamer or whatever. But essentially what I heard was, Lloyd, take it away.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Like, our out of conference, we want to play Dallas Baptist and Kansas State and Nebraska because it's going to boost our RPI.
This is
a 3-game series against ULL, RPI-wise, doesn't do much.
Well, yeah, you did this to yourself. First of all, you cursed yourself.
Right.
Remained cursed. And what's your record? Because I'm looking at it. Oh, your website doesn't work.
Andrew Messina says, make the NCAA tournament, and they'll put you in the Baton Rouge Regional.
Sure.
That would work. Get your series then. Play LSU in the postseason. But enjoy the one game you get against the Tigers a season because, and I feel like that's perfect for what ULL wants. Like they want an opportunity to beat the big dog and to win over LSU and run their mouth and all these things. One game is your best chance. A 3-game series.
You're 11-14.
Let's keep it real here. P-Dub, why play Omaha and North Dakota State instead of ULL and Tulane?
Because those schools need a place to play baseball. If you're not familiar with the weather, I saw somebody else on Twitter doing this where he was going through all of the SEC schedules. Like, why does LSU they haven't played a true road game yet? It's like, well, they did play neutral site games, but you don't have to count those if you don't like. But the reason most of the SEC plays a lot of its games at home early on, there's nowhere else to play.
The weather.
Omaha is probably very cold.
Yeah,
North Dakota State.
Purdue, Fort Wayne.
These
teams couldn't even practice outside.
Yeah, they need a place to play baseball. And LSU and Louisiana doesn't really have a winter.
Yes.
And so they come down and play baseball here, and that's why it works out that way. But, yes, this will be an all-time, this is UL's big, L's, get back. This is their chance.
So Super Bowl.
It's never been built up to be this big. There's
Yes.
always been a little bit of it that's brewed, a little bit of brouhaha. Last year played 3-2, LSU wins. They threw their ace, and it made them not viable for the rest of the tournament because they threw. And they're going to do it again. I'd imagine they're going to throw their best pitcher against LSU, who's probably going to throw a litany of guys.
Right.
You'll probably see Newt again, which I'm all for.
For what, 2 innings?
Maybe, because now you're starting to see LSU have some consternation in the bullpen as to who should be in what role. And after Newt pitched the way he did in his last midweek start, it feels like that might be an option for him to move to the bullpen for the weekend series. But I would not be surprised to get whoever ULL's ace is to throw tonight, and they're going to put everything on it. And then whatever happens, happens. But I do not look forward if it does go a particular direction. Twitter's going to be insufferable.
It will be an absolute mess. I'm also not looking forward to if it goes that way.
Coach, can we please have a weekend series with y'all?
Coach, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time.
Who do I need to harass? He's like, your coach does the scheduling. You're talking to the wrong guy, pal.
Who do I need to harass? You're harassing me right now, buddy.
Speaking of, God, they have to stop doing the in-game interviews with Jay. I've never seen him
it is
enjoy one of them.
The angriest he is ever.
He gets tossed every time he has to do one.
Cade Anderson, yeah. In-game interview him. He pitched yesterday.
He's not playing today.
He's not playing. He'll sit and talk to you, keep the headphones on.
He tried.
Stop mid-game interviewing the head coaches in a baseball game. During basketball, during a TV timeout, you can snag a coach for 30 seconds because the TV timeouts are 5 minutes. You can do a quick one before they go get back in the huddle. Yeah, that's fine. Football ones on the sideline before they go to halftime, do it. Don't stop doing it in baseball. I get that you want the idea of, yeah, we need to do this. We do it in football. We do it in basketball, all these things. Don't do it in baseball. There's no avenue for it to work. And you have one of the best coach in the sport in college baseball dreading it every time. And it's pretty visibly dreading it every time.
And it's, I understand that coaches have obligations and they have things that they, have to do, I guess. But it's just the way that he coaches. He has his hands in everything. He's not just kind of watching the game. He's actively making decisions during the game. You've seen him do, whether it be offensive timeouts or mound visits. There's really not a lot of time for him to be dilly-dallying, talking to the guy in the booth that is. And thank God that's over. I've never wanted to pucker up more than I do tonight because Lynn is going to be a breath of fresh air if you don't go to the game, if you just watch it on television or on the nomics. But that man, I couldn't do another game. I hope, they have to listen to that all the time? Is that a guy for them?
That seemed like,
that would make it. I wouldn't watch Texas baseball either.
Was that SEC Network?
Yeah.
So I guess that's.
But he has to call their games.
All I know is I hope to God he never calls another LSU baseball
I don't
game.
need to see him ever. And this is what they're bringing to. Look, a little Don't try to fight. Over under 1.5 fights. Well, this is Troy and UL fighting.
Oh. I don't think there's going to be any fights.
I mean, it looks like they're ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean that.
This is baseball.
Fighting in the concession stand.
It's a great looking concession stand. Like, how do you pitch with that there? It's right behind you.
It is interesting, is it not?
Yeah.
Like I don't hate like.
Look, a shortstop can see it.
They were talking about it in the chat. Glimmer says, I'm still laughing at that ULL Troy fight video. They have a visible concession stand behind home plate.
That's crazy.
What kind of operation are they running?
Yeah, that's
Shane
wild.
LeBlanc says their stadium is like that, so whoever's in line at concession stand can see the game without missing anything. Like, I mean, I guess it's a nice sentiment, but
think about the program.
Yeah, I mean, but they were thrown down behind.
How often are all going to the concession stand?
I guess they're going pretty often.
That's where that's their Sonic. That's where they get their scuffles, dude.
That's their Sonic. I mean, it's crazy how Sonic is just world recognized.
Yeah,
as
I
that
think that's
location.
Tiger Droppings that did that. And it used to be a thing in Alexandria. Like, people actually did go to Sonic to fight.
Really?
So it's funny that it's like
Central. It was the old ballpark.
Oh, nice.
The old baseball fields.
Everybody would park at Sonic in their big stupid trucks.
Their lifted trucks. With their
and
loud
just hang
engines.
out. Like, why are y'all hanging out at Sonic? Like, you have a car. You can go anywhere.
Right.
Oh, they're just going to loiter around the Sonic.
Get a blast. And then
have a blast.
Punch you in the face.
But I am interested to see what UL throws at LSU as they, like I said, a little bit of a scuffle since they've gone after the legend as not the season that I think they intended. Just finished up a set with South Alabama. Took 2 of 3. Lost to Southeastern in the midweek. That's tough. And then lost 2 of 3 to Troy, and maybe 3 of 4, depending on who won this fight. But UL has been a competent baseball program for the last 5 years. Like they play a brand of baseball that can compete and can win, but it's just they're scuffling this year for all things that couldn't make me happier. But I am interested to see who they throw and what to expect from LSU in terms of what they do from their pitching side, because obviously you saw Friday, and LSU plays Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes,
and so
it's a quick week.
A quick turnaround to see kind of, if you do want to use Newt for the weekend series, I wouldn't expect him to go more than 2 innings.
Yeah.
And then have him turn around for maybe today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He could pitch on Saturday again. Or Sunday.
Yeah, I would say
or Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
So it'll be interesting to see how LSU manufactures its lineup and who they use out of the bullpen for the midweek, because you're still trying to figure out your own stuff. Like, I know LSU, as much as I'm not worried about what happened at Texas, you should have taken 2 of 3. You put yourself in a great position to do so after the Friday where you only used 2 pitchers, and then you set yourself up to take 1 more, and you just weren't able to get the deal done. And obviously Sunday leaves a bad taste in your mouth because it just felt like you never really got off the mat. Yeah. And so interested to see the boys bounce back, and what I expect to be a very, give them a hero's welcome back to Alec Box, the friendly confines, and see if you can. I hope that, if anything that's disheartening is that you can look at the pitching staff and the rotation and the bullpen all you want. Sunday you didn't hit.
You gave no help.
Yeah, you didn't score. And so that's why I think that I've seen multiple threads about, Ianson is not a Saturday guy. What makes you think that?
You were winning the game until Ianson came out.
Right.
As much as
people just bitch to bitch.
Yeah, and as much as it doesn't look like Paul Skeens, because I think
never will again.
That's what everyone kind of puts the meter at. Like, to be successful, you have to look like that. And really, because it doesn't look like Cade Anderson on Friday, he's still Texas? How many runs did they score when Ianson was pitching?
2.
2 runs,
I believe.
And then he got a couple that were on base that he left for Connor Ware, I think, or did Connor Ware start a fresh inning? I don't exactly remember, but he's pitched well for you in baseball games. Is it maybe not the prettiest? Yeah. Shore's the same way. Was it pretty? No. Would it have been nice for his offense to go out and maybe extend their Sunday starter a little bit more? Yeah. Because that's what Texas did. they weren't scoring a bunch of runs on Shores, but they were hitting him around. They were getting on base. They were getting his pitch count up. LSU didn't return the favor at the plate. Andrew Messina, if LSU doesn't have to use Cowan on Thursday, that's a win. Hope Jay Johnson saves him for Friday after Ianson, or once Ianson gets pulled.
Look, and I understand the sentiment behind everybody is, Cowan is now the flavor of the month after what you've seen, but and so trying to save him for a Saturday or wanting to use him maybe multiple times in a weekend, what you did Friday, you would sign up to do 10 out of 10 times. Like, that is a foolproof formula to be able to win a baseball game and also save your bullpen. If you can sign up before the weekend starts, say, I'm going to get you one and use 2 pitchers, 10 out of 10 times you're signing that deal.
Yep.
And I understand that you want to, because it does feel like you're still looking for answers in the bullpen, but you just have to have other people play better. Like,
yeah, they just got to step up.
Right. I mean, that's just the crux of it.
That's what it comes down to.
Connor Ware is scuffling right now. Will Schmidt, and this was, for those that are worried, Cade Anderson said that Will Schmidt is not worried. Like, he couldn't be more relaxed about everything. He gives up the home run, the 3-run homer, and he's like, you would think that he didn't even pitch today. He just kind of goes about his, like, nothing bothers him. And so that's good to hear, because William Schmidt is in a new role, struggling to kind of find his way to perform in that role, because it's all very new to him. And to know that it's not bothering him at all and is unaffected, that's what you'd want to hear. But whether it be, you threw 8 guys Saturday?
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering what of these guys that you might see again, I think Rizzi's kind of carving himself out a role that you'd probably see on the weekend, but you could see Myers again. I think he still probably will save that left-handed arm in Primo, and certainly the left-handed arm in Cooper. And then Benj went 1 2/3. But yeah, it's going to be a combination of those types of guys that, like Cade Woods, you haven't seen a lot of yet.
Right.
And so I think you have some arms that you'll probably see, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think LSU is playing to the same way that UL is strategizing for those games.
Right.
I think it's very
UL's
much
playing to win.
Yeah, very much business as usual. Be able to you're 4-2 in the league. You're in quote unquote second place right now. There's I think 3 teams that are 5-1, and you're tied with a bunch of teams that are 4-2, and that's why whenever you get an opportunity to sweep like you did against Missouri, you take it. Because there's a lot, like, those wins are hard to find and hard to get, and then you have a 3-game homestand against Mississippi State that you feel good about, and another way to continue to stack wins in the SEC. As the polls came out, LSU had a real opportunity to be number 1 in the country if that's something you care about.
Right.
Obviously, they lose their last 2. That is not the case.
Yeah. So, I mean, and one thing that I'm excited about tonight is you're going to get such a good understanding of kind of where Jay Johnson's mind is. What you got?
They're ranked from Baseball America. They're now the number 5 team in the country. Coaches poll number 6. Perfect game number 7. D1 Baseball number 8.
Yep.
Who do they have in front of you?
Dropped to 8. Well, they dropped them behind Texas, and Texas was at 7. So D1 Baseball dropped LSU behind the Longhorns. Forgot who else was 1 through 6.
I have it.
What you got?
Texas moves up to number 7. The 5 teams ahead of the Longhorns: Arkansas, Georgia, Florida State, Oregon State, and Clemson, all moved up 1 spot apiece. Oklahoma moves up to number 9 after winning a series against Mississippi State, who LSU will now play. Oregon drops to 10. I mean, this doesn't matter, but that seems like quite the harsh penalty from a team that was ranked 2nd in the country to drop to 8. But alas, you will play again.
Yep. And one thing that's going to be cool about tonight is you're going to get a really good understanding of what the strategy is for this weekend bullpen-wise by what it looks like tonight.
Yes.
If Newt goes 1 inning or 2 innings, that means they're probably looking for him to be a player in the bullpen on the weekend. If he goes 4 innings, maybe not. Depending who all they throw out, you'll see if they go Schmidt for an inning to try to get him in rhythm, and maybe he can go again on Sunday, or what it looks like.
I would doubt that, but just because you don't want to jerk him around anymore,
right?
Like, kind of let him settle into what he's going to
rhythm.
do, yeah, and keep him in that. But yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Newt needs to move to the bullpen. That's what I'm saying. That's a conversation. Myers needs to locate his pitches. That's just who he is,
right?
And Jay Johnson talked about him. He has electric stuff. He says if you could just put it anywhere near the zone, you're nearly unhittable. But that's been the calling card for him his entire career. he can strike you out, but he also walks a ton of people. He led the country in walks and led the country in strikeouts.
Yep.
Like, that's just who he is. But if he can hone it in a little bit, then you'd like to, because, I mean, we were watching the game here on Friday, and what did I say? Well, I was like,
he's 6'5", and that 99
no,
gets
it's Saturday.
fast.
Yeah, and I was like, but if he can't throw strikes and he can't locate, everybody's just sitting there, take till I get a strike or take till I get 2 strikes. He's probably inevitably going to walk you. But if he can hone it in and put it in the box, that is an arm that has immense talent.
Yes, 100%. So it's going to be a good one tonight. Tigers versus the Cajuns. It's going to be a packed Alec box, and I believe the Cajunomics Classic tonight. I'm expecting LSU fans to be excited, ready to go. LSU is going to be bought in. I'm also excited to see this baseball team go out there, have their mindset straight, look ready to rock, because I believe they are as locked in as possible. Regardless of what it looked like on Sunday, this is a locked in and bought in baseball team, and that's going to start tonight. You're going to see the get right game tonight for LSU versus ULL in Alec box.
I do hope, yeah, and I do think that there is something to the crowd being able, like, showing up and showing out and giving the guys a little bit of juice when they probably don't expect it as much on a midweek game. Sure, Alec box is always going to have its contingency, but if it gets a little rowdy.
Yeah, a midweek game after a ugly weekend.
Right.
And still be rocking.
Because it's easy to kind of sleepwalk through this one, too, where you're like, all right, let's get to it. Because after the highs of SEC play, where it's extremely competitive, like you feel a little bit different going to the ballpark, if there's a little juice in the stadium, maybe it helps the boys get up a little bit. Like, okay, we can still, because you want to bounce back, obviously. Shout out Cordell. But like if there's nothing to really play for, you don't feel that energy. That's like, all right, let's get out of here. Like get with it, get lost, and then like let's start thinking about Mississippi State. But if there's a little electricity in there, like it makes you buy in a little bit more, even if it's just for 7 innings.
Yeah, no, I mean it, and like you said, I mean the players know about Cajunomics a little bit.
Yeah.
They know a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. There's a little electricity in the air.
Yeah, like that. There's gonna be something in the. You're gonna be able to feel something out there, and I'm gonna be there. I expect Lloyd, you're gonna be there, huh?
Oh yeah.
Christian said he might be there. We're all getting the box and see what it looks like tonight as LSU takes on ULL in the Cajunomics Classic in Alec Box Stadium. It's gonna be a good one.
Not a 3-game series. 1 game.
Not a 3-game series, and I don't see it ever becoming a 3-game series unless ULL becomes an RPI monster that's going to help Jay Johnson in what the future looks like.
Begging.
It was unbelievable. Andrew Messina, is Gadry going to be done for the year?
I don't know.
Like we said, where we're at with Gavin Guidry is you'll see him when he plays. I don't know I don't have any injury updates. I don't know. Where it's at right now is when he puts on the uniform and gets on the mound is when he puts on the uniform and gets on the mound.
And it's a bizarre scenario considering it was, I mean, rewind, a month ago now it feels like the beginning of this month for sure, where he was amping up to start.
Right. And
now it's a setback and it's a middle body injury, which has turned into like now what people are saying it's his back, and it's all very odd. And Shane LeBlanc, Noah, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know how Sharon got hurt, but I know he did tear his ACL before the year, saying that somebody said he played in a pickup basketball game. Shane LeBlanc, stupid on his part. What do you want to like walk around in bubble wrap? He's 19 years old,
right? And
he has friends. Probably gonna play a little bit of basketball. He went on a jet ski. Like, this is just part of life that can happen. Like, if you're an athlete, you're going to want to do athletic things.
Right.
It's okay to play basketball with your boys.
There's a chance.
Unfortunate.
It sucks. And that's just, but it's also just part of
life.
College sports. It's also part of professional sports. Like, I mean, Travis Hunter was playing pickup basketball before his Heisman football season.
During.
Like, they do it. I don't think it's really a talking point. Does it suck that it happened? Yeah, it sucks. And in hindsight, would have been like maybe I shouldn't have gone to play pickup that day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Devin probably feels the same way. Or he probably looks back at it and be like, maybe it would have been nice to sit on the couch that day and I'd be playing baseball right now. Mm-hmm. But 19-year-old kids.
Yeah, projected starter for ULL, Andrew Herman, 6'3", 215 senior from Kennesaw, Georgia. 2-1 on the year, 3.54 ERA, 28 innings pitched, 25 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned, 7 walks, 25 strikeouts. Opponents batting .234 against him. So a stiff test.
Yeah.
For another left-handed pitching. So that seems to be the formula people have been going against LSU, is to put a lefty out there, so it kind of log jams what you want to do at DH and in right field. You saw Fry get some opportunities. You saw Broswell play third whenever a lefty was in, and then it's kind of it makes Jay make a decision if he wants to put Pearson in or if he wants to continue to roll with Pearson Brown, like that combination where it's lefty-lefty and you just kind of have to roll the dice.
Or if he's going to go Bear at third, huh?
Or Bear and right. Bear on the mound.
When I saw that he was actually in third in the game, I was like, because, I mean, Fry
He's
came
an athlete.
Well, yeah, but Fry came in to pinch hit, and so that took, I think he took, was it Reeves' spot?
Mm-hmm.
And so then Bear moved to third, Jake Brown moved to first, Fry in the outfield. It was just all kind of mixed up in that one play where it got hit down the baseline and hit off the bag. I was like, wait, I think that's Jared Jones at third when I was watching on TV. So, whole lot of options.
Athlete. To continue on, Herman did pitch against LSU last year in the Astros Foundation College Classic. 4 2/3, struck out 8. So saw 8, 9, 10 guys, struck out 8. And so LSU, familiar with the Herman, and gets a little bit of a get-back game to see if LSU can put a crooked number up on him.
Yeah, it'll be a stiff test, like Lloyd said. But you expect Newt to be on the mound for LSU?
I do.
Do you expect him to just what's your pitch count, inning count, any idea?
I don't know how they're going to, like I said, because of what happened over the weekend and how well he pitched in the midweek, it does feel like there's a world in which they try to save some innings from him. But if all things considered were, like if everything would have gone status quo and William Schmidt was pitching well out the pen and you didn't have this like a little bit of an implosion, I think Newt was probably like he's trending to throwing more innings than not. I think he went 4 2/3 in his last start, where it was the longest he's gone, and he's kind of carving out that midweek role. But if they want to utilize him in the bullpen, I don't see him going more than 2 innings. I'd imagine 2 or 3 innings, but that's when you start playing the game of how many people do you want to burn before a Thursday?
Yeah.
Like what guys do you
Yeah,
do you want to count on or need to count on?
I think they extend him. I think he goes 4 or 5 again.
I'd love to see it.
Just because, in my opinion, I think Jay's confident in his guys on the weekend and what he has. And I think if you would have, before the Texas series, if you would have, like Lloyd said, if you would have said, hey, we're going to go Anderson, Cowan on Friday, and then on Saturday you get to go Ianson, Ware, Schmidt, and on the Sunday game you get to go Shores and everybody else, you'd have signed up for it 10 times out of 10.
Sign up for that.
And so I think that's where Jay's mindset's going to be as well. So it's going to be exciting to be out there tonight. If you see me and Lloyd, we should be wearing Rhoback.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure, get your own by going to Rhoback.com and using code TIGERS, TIGERS, for 20% off. If you saw a little picture of Brian Kelly at the women's basketball game last night, he was rocking a little Rhoback of his own. I saw that dog on his shoulder. And get your own. Get ready for LSU baseball season as they continue on. And maybe you'll see me and Lloyd rocking ours if you see us walking through Alec Box Stadium tonight. If Christian's there, he'll be wearing a Rhoback that's a couple sizes too big, but that's okay. So how it goes. Brian Burgess says he'll be at the game tonight. Yeah, if you're in the chat and you're going to be there tonight, let us know. Maybe you'll run into us. But it's going to be a good one tonight. The Cajunomics Classic, as it is. That was my buddies when they texted me about it. They said, we've got to go to Ride for Cajunomics. I said, 100%.
Absolutely.
So 20% off if you use a first-time email with Rhoback code TIGERS, TIGERS. Never forget, even Roger Clemens had the dog on. Rocket was rocking the Rhoback as well. So we're going to take a quick break.
That's the only
here.
time Rhoback has, even as uncomfortable as that was, Roger was still comfortable in the Rhoback.
Of course. As uncomfortable as our guy was making him.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, Rocket, is that Rhoback you're wearing?
Yeah, pet that dog.
Did you know that Culotta Show has a code for 20% off?
Promo code TIGERS.
TIGERS, TIGERS.
Rocket, can I pet your dog?
Rocket, can I wear that?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I have that shirt, Rocket?
He reminds me of the weird guy in Ted. Once the teddy
That
bear
wants
real
the bear,
bad.
of
Yeah,
course.
that's how he was talking to Rocket.
He was. I mean, it was very much Rocket.
God.
It was quite the experience. So we're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, close out hour number 2, and finish the show.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Family calls family. That saying resonates even more as your family grows. And we can't seem to stop growing. Meet the newest member of the Get Gordon family, Penny's cousin Rosie. Rosie already knows, the larger your family, the more people you have to lift you up during trying times. Just like at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we've grown to over 200 team members with over 50 local attorneys. So whether you pick Penny, employ Ellie, roll with Rosie, or get Gordon, we want to be your lawyers for life.
Your lawyers for life.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdowns Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdowns Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
It's rare to find someone you can count on when it's go time. It's even more rare to find someone you can count on, all the time. At Sunshine, we're proud to offer the John Deere equipment you need and the team you can depend on and off the field. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up.
All right, welcome back. We're closing out hour number 2 here on this Tuesday morning ahead of the Cajunomics Classic tonight. Don't forget, Christian is at LSU football spring practice media availability right now as we speak. He's going to get everything uploaded quick. We'll get it put out to you guys the second we are allowed to by the brass at LSU football. So we'll have clips from practice today. Christian should be in tomorrow morning to give us his insight, whatever it may be.
Right.
We'll also deduce what we can from the clips that we get, as well as I think Pro Day is tomorrow, if I'm correct, the 26th. So LSU Pro Day will be tomorrow. We'll have content from that as well. We'll have that covered. So make sure you check that out. Rally Time podcast will also go out today. That is our guy Justin, who did the show yesterday, recorded it. We're going to get that uploaded and posted for you guys today as he broke down the Texas weekend. Him and Christian both felt good about it after they texted me when they wrapped it up and felt good on how it went. So we'll have that out for you guys today. So make sure you like, subscribe, and you hit that bell so you know when all this content is coming out. We will have LSU practice clips posted, and after that, Rally Time will come out today as well. That'll all get you ready for tonight as LSU takes on ULL and then we'll go through the rest of the week. Pro day tomorrow. I think media availability at practice again on Thursday, and then Friday, obviously Thursday, Friday, Saturday, LSU baseball. Friday, we've got LSU versus NC State at 6:30. Watch partying it again?
Yes.
Friday night.
A little offensive line work. Look at
Some
the fellas.
offensive line work from last week. Making sure LSU knows this is from last week. This is not from today. Don't get mad at us. We are yet to get the content from today. So this is not from today's practice. Just making sure LSU knows that.
Yes.
Before we get any messages or emails.
We're no Connor Stallions.
That's not from today. But yes, watch party Friday night. LSU versus NC State. Sweet 16. We're going to do a bunch of desserts for the
What?
Sweet 16. Deal?
Oh, nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Some confectionaries and pastries and
Macaroons.
Ice creams. Let's see how many calories we can intake.
What time is the game?
6:30 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll go to Thursday to the
Baseball.
Cade Shove.
Cade Shove on Thursday.
And we'll watch
We'll
baseball.
have baseball.
I get really distracted when watching baseball and trying to watch basketball at the same time.
You struggle with the two screens.
I do.
You do.
I'm a one-screen man.
It's okay.
Well,
There's nothing
it
wrong
has
with
to be
that.
like the same sport on both, and then
Right.
I can look back and forth. But I just get
It's okay.
so
Well,
locked
that's
into
how
baseball.
That's how humans are meant to be. They're meant to be one-screen people. But
Right.
some people like to mix it up.
I appreciate. I will. What a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a tough problem to have.
So it's a good problem to have.
Two LSU sports
that are very successful.
Yes.
And we'll have, like we said, we'll have some desserts so you can see us get fat. We'll have Lloyd will get embarrassed eating on TV as he usually does.
I usually don't eat.
He usually doesn't. But do you want to do a Sporkle to close out today? Or do you have anything that you want to touch on before
I was
we
going to see
play some games?
Who all is attending
Pro Day?
Yes.
Let's see if I can go off the dome. Will Campbell.
Excellent.
Miles Frazier. Garrett Dellinger. Mason Taylor. Braden Swinson. Zy Alexander. Greg Penn. Who else would be in the mix? Emory Jones, I believe. Here's some clips, some Pro Day, getting ready for some pre-Pro Day clips. Greg Penn, Garrett Dellinger, Miles Frazier, Will Campbell. Looks like in that video. I would assume Swinson and Zy are also going to be out there. Emory Jones, I would assume, would be there. And I have a feeling Emory Jones is going to test off the charts if he's out there. Trying to think who else.
Well, that's kind of the.
I feel like that's the.
Well, I mean,
Kyron Lacey.
That is an interesting one to see what happens. I don't know what they'll do in that because they did ask BK about it a while ago, and he's like, "We're not making any decisions on whatever Kyron Lacey does." We'll see. But that's what I was saying. I was trying to think of the skill guys, but it kind of goes to show what LSU has returning.
Yeah.
And kind of it's more of what they have returning because next year, I would imagine when you do pro day, it's gonna be like Aaron Anderson, Chris
Garrett
Hilton,
Nussmeier.
Garrett Nussmeier.
That's going to be. I mean, next year's pro day is going to be
a star-studded event.
Yes, where I mean,
sad. Also,
it is. I mean, it's like last year's pro day where you're watching
BTJ.
Jaden throw to Brian Thomas and Malik, and you're just like, man.
Yeah, you got all the hype for Malik's 40 from Jaden Daniels. Like, I wish these guys could run it backward. Like, look how much they like each
love
other.
each other. Well, if you see now, they're with each other every
all
day.
the time.
Every day they're with each other.
Sorry, we did y'all dirty.
Savion Jones, Major Burns from Marcus Stewart in the chat. C. Veal says, I hope Emory Jones does well. Josh Williams, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Emory Jones is going to test off the charts.
What do you think he runs? Has he run yet? He didn't run.
I don't
Will
think
Campbell
he
ran at
was,
the combine.
Yeah, Will Campbell ran right under 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Emory's going to go faster than that.
Me too.
I think
special teamer.
Yeah, I mean he's got some athleticism. Cole Adams, y'all still calling it the Culotta Show? I'm ready for a change. Maybe Lloyd of the Rings.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one. This is some of the business things that we are working through currently. It's why we've had to go out early some days, and there's a lot of behind the scenes things going on. But we're making sure that the content is still coming out every day to you guys, and that's why this is where we're at. Sabrion says 4.8. That's probably where I'm at. That's probably where I'm at on Emory Jones's 40 time. I think it's going to be impressive. I'm expecting. And I'm expecting Swinson to have really good numbers as well. I think these guys are going to test fairly well and look good going into what's next for LSU football. So don't forget, we'll have LSU practice clips out for you today, but Pro Day is tomorrow, and we will have coverage of that from start to finish. We'll make sure you're taken care of. So make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You've got the notifications bell rung, and our social medias that you're following, X, Instagram, TikTok, all of it.
Twitter.
Make sure you're following, and you can turn the notifications on there as well to know when we're putting stuff out. We'll have some live coverage for you guys from practice or not live coverage from practice, from Pro Day. We'll have post-practice coverage as well. So be ready for that. Rally time also coming out today to recap the weekend. Justin's getting to the meat and bones of the season, so he's going twice a week, a recap and a preview show. So make sure you have the notifications bell hit so you know when stuff's coming out. Sabrion Green, is there a chance the Saints try to trade up for Ward? I guess we can talk to Nick about that when we have him on this week. We did see that the Saints brought a large contingency to Miami for their pro day. Kellen Moore was there. I think Mickey Loomis was there as well.
When Cam Ward wanted to,
he wants to play for
he
the
was
Saints.
saying all the right things. He listed the ghost of Marcus Colston. People are like, oh, he knows ball.
Yeah,
like he wants to. That is a name. Like
it
if
is.
you a
He's
Saints,
a real Saints fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was better than that. But yeah, that is a fan favorite, of course, with Marcus
100%.
Colston and Drew Brees. And I think Drew Brees even retweeted his own stats the other day. He's like, "Damn, I was balling." It's like, yeah, Drew, you threw for a lot of yards.
Yeah, a lot of yards, a lot of times.
Kept going 7-9.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Saints do with Ward there, but there's going to be a large contingency at their pro day, so they're obviously very much interested because from what I saw somewhere, Mickey Loomis doesn't make it out to a lot of pro days. Like, it's very rare. Like, he'll go to LSU's most of the times. He's gone to Alabama's a few times. Really, there's been different things, but he's at the Miami Pro Day, which I think is a relatively big deal. So we're going to play a Sporkle to close it out for you guys, get you guys involved.
Real quick, another thing on the quarterback front. Saints and former Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers scheduled to have dinner on Monday.
Okay.
As Saints are saddled with Derek Carr, but they clearly are keeping an eye toward the future of the position in the meanwhile, including visiting with Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. Lawrence has already held meetings with Colorado passer Shooter Sanders and Cam Ward at the Combine. The team was also present for Ward's Pro Day. The Saints will follow up their Miami Pro Day visit with a dinner with Ewers that happened yesterday evening. And the Saints are expected to have a large contingent at Texas' Pro Day in Austin on Tuesday.
Yep.
That Pro Day will not only feature Ewers, but other draftable players that could be a good fit for the Saints, such as quarterback J.D. Barron, tight end Gunnar Helm, and safety Andrew Makuba.
They're going to take Gunnar Helm. I can just feel it.
Sounds like
the
the same.
name. Gunnar Helm. But yeah, no, I mean, the Saints are going to take a quarterback.
You think so?
They always do. I mean, most years they take one. Now, either it's a 7th rounder that they cut, or it's Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler. They take a quarterback, and I think they're done with the Haener experience. So they're going to add another, and I believe that'll be through the draft.
Seems like a waste of a pick.
Whether it's if they trade up for Ward or if they go get what's his name from Syracuse. What was his name? That was that Kyle McCord.
Ohio State, yeah, Kyle McCord.
Whether it's something like that, I think they're going to take one. So just depends what pick it is. As long as they take Mason Taylor at 40, that's my lock. Take Mason Taylor at 40, please, and you'll get my fandom back. Because Mason Taylor's a professional tight end.
Do you think he's a 2nd-round pick? A lot of people have him mocked in the 3rd and 4th.
I mean, what do the Saints have in the 3rd and 4th? I think if he's on the board at 40, I'd take him.
They have round 3, pick 71.
Maybe if he's there, if he's slotted to go 3rd and 4th, I'm fine with taking him at 71.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
We're not going to be upset if you have him on your football team.
He's a professional tight end.
Yes.
And has been since game 1, year 1 at LSU.
Yeah. That's one of those guys that, are you looking for, if you wait and he's not available in the 3rd and you could have had him in the 2nd, you'll look up in 10 years and go, oh, he could have been playing for the Saints. Because it just feels like such a safe pick. Do you want somebody that's going to – the Saints, who do take swings in the first 2 rounds, have not – it's either boom or bust.
Right.
Either they go off the board to get somebody you've never heard of, or they stack. They go 4 for 4 on the first 4 rounds, and it's the cornerstone of your franchise, which they need to do this year.
Yeah, that would be nice.
They need to hit.
To redo the 2017 draft.
Yeah,
it would be nice to have one of those again.
This draft has the Saints taking Marshall edge Mike Green, small school edge rusher.
I mean, I'm telling you what, they obviously know the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a Saints pick all the way.
We just signed Chase Young to a new deal.
Brian Burgess, you guys have an awesome and blessed rest of your day. I pray God surrounds you with his love. Time to go for a slow jog on the levee. Brian, love
See
you.
ya. See you
Enjoy
tonight.
your jog. Yeah, see you tonight in Alec Box. Charlie Oliver, I hope all your dreams come true today, Brian. That's very sweet of you. What we got here? Grab bag.
Sparkle.
We need. Do we have any TV ones? Are we going to need Hunter Hall? Any what is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Bravo shows. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Oh God. I know the first one. Fuck yeah. Bitch.
It's the Jordy Culotta show. Come have a good time. Yeah.
I know this one.
Do you?
I believe so. Yes.
There you go.
All right, in the quiz.
The rival families in Romeo.
The
Romeo
Capulets
and
and the Montagues.
Yes. There you go. How about that? The Lloyd of the Rings.
That's right. Twin Towers. 9/11. What is it? 2 Towers. What's the other one? That's the only one I know.
Twin Towers.
Helps not being not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just not the official name.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not big on the Lord of the Rings. The 5 protein options at Chipotle, I can get you that one.
Beans.
No. Chicken. Steak. Pork. Nope. Ground beef.
What if it's just beef? Hamburger.
How's it? I don't know how ground beef is not one of them.
Fajita. Skirt steak.
Carne asada.
Uh-huh.
Nope. All right. Well, then let's do the Wii Sports ones they're hitting. Tennis. Okay. Table tennis. Baseball.
Baseball.
Nope. Golf.
What? They do have baseball. I've played it.
Bowling,
Oh, it's Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah. I think bowling is in that one. Boxing, I believe.
No,
Nope. Basketball's in that one.
Can't be boxing at the resort.
And I think they also have sword fighting. Pause.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think fencing maybe is what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was something with there's definitely sword fighting.
What kind of resort are we going to? A White Lotus?
The White Lotus. The 6 chess pieces: queen, pawn, knights, rooks, bishops. Pawn, knight, rook, bishop. Nailed it.
There we go. 8 movies directed by Steven Spielberg with highest Rotten Tomatoes critic score. Star Wars. Oh.
Let's see. Didn't he do Schindler's List?
Nice.
Did he do Jaws?
Titanic? No, that's another. That's Cameron, James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Jaws. He did do Jaws. I thought he did do Star Wars. No, that's George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Steven Spielberg. What did you do?
E.T.?
E.T. What else have you done, Steven?
Did he do I'm trying to think. What was that one with Daniel Day-Lewis? Did he do that one?
I don't think so, but I know.
Left and right atrium for the heart. The left atrium. The right atrium. The left ventricle.
I was going to say ventricle. I knew that.
Yep. And the right ventricle. Jurassic Park, was that Spielberg?
Yeah. Oh. Is it not?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Do it. Right. I'm trying to think of what...
South Africa.
Is that a movie? Blood Diamond? Well, what does he do? Who works with Steven Spielberg?
Egypt.
What is this?
The 9 counties in Africa. Let's see. We have Fellowship of the Rings.
What's the last one?
These people, everybody's got Jurassic Park. Catch Me If You Can.
Great movie.
The Return of the King.
Nice.
There we go.
Nerds. It has to be Jurassic Park.
The Color Purple. Nope. Yeah. Libya. Libya. Nope.
Libya. George Libya.
Can't believe I don't know the 5 protein options at Chipotle.
Not a movie.
Not a
county in Africa. Not a Chamber of the Heart.
Saving Private Ryan. It's not a protein option at Chipotle. I can't believe I've never thought of that.
It's a sequel.
Ethiopia.
Oh.
Chad. Isn't Chad in Africa?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Zimbabwe. BABWE. Archery. Barbacoa. Nope. ACOA. There you go. Beef barbacoa.
I put in beef.
Yeah, we tried beef. Hook. Shout out to the chat.
That was a Captain
Lincoln.
Hook?
That's the Daniel Day-Lewis one I was thinking of. It's Lincoln. He was doing Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Oh, it's not in there.
Abraham.
Nigeria.
I thought of that one. Got nervous. There we go. Sprint through it. 5 pillars of Islam. Faith. Shahada. What is that? Turkey?
I can't believe I thought that was so funny. Congo. Cycling. Where did cycling
Where'd
go?
cycling go?
Where did
It was in there.
I don't see it anywhere.
This was off to a hot start.
Super 8. No, just the number 8. Nope.
What's that? They go to. What's the other one? With
South Africa. We already have that one. With Matthew McConaughey. That's Christopher Nolan.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I don't
Kenya.
know.
I can't believe I don't remember the. Oh, there was like a chopping one in Wii Sports Resort where you would cut the fruit. You'd like,
Fruit Ninja.
Kind of. It's not gonna be the right. Do chopping. No, I don't remember what it was called.
Fruit
Mozambique.
Spell it.
Mozambique. Okay. Sudan. There we go. They say Frisbee.
That sounds so boring.
Morocco. Nope. Oh my god.
I don't know how to spell Morocco. Oh, 2 R's.
Morocco.
2 C's.
Nope. Guinea, like guinea pig. Nope. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I mean, he couldn't shorten that up.
Nope.
I thought he did do Jurassic Park.
He definitely did Jurassic Park. Tanzania. There we go.
Good job, chat.
Chat's freaking rocking.
Faith, love,
respect, works.
I mean, I don't know.
Works. Nope.
Family.
I've got
football.
Empire of the Sun. Football. Nope.
You need to get your proteins, brother.
Chicken al pastor. Nope. Spicy chicken. The seasoned chicken.
I don't know. I wonder what they're going to do. They're pretty good.
Yeah, we did pretty good.
Carnitas and sofritas.
Swordplay.
I
knew it.
You had it.
Dude, I had swordplay. Ethiopia. Did we not try Ethiopia?
I guess it slid through the cracks.
We definitely weren't going to get the 5 pillars of Islam.
I don't know. I still don't know them. I got one.
What was the movie we didn't get? Are we going to be able to scroll and see that or no?
Give me 1 second.
Because everybody wants to know about that movie.
West Side Story.
West Side Story and the Fablemans?
Uganda.
Power
cruising, canoeing, wakeboarding.
Oh, power cruising. I forgot about that one.
And curling. That's where cycling must have gone
that's
down
cycling.
There. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's where cycling went. We were so confused.
It just went away.
It just disappeared. But great work, chat.
They know their geography.
Yeah, they're on top of this type of stuff. They might be Googling.
I don't think so. I believe that some people know these stuff.
Yeah, no, they know this stuff. That was good. That was great work.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Sorry, CVL.
73% is good. The average score is 44. So,
Brian Burgess, you didn't go around yet. You're in here typing beans.
Air sports. Let's do a Wordle. Let's get out of here on a high note. Let's win. Let's win something. I like to win.
That felt like a win.
I mean, it was somewhat of a win. Moral victory, maybe.
Yeah. Play. What?
The chat. Charlie Oliver's in the chat. Trying to get Christian on top of this practice footage, getting it all locked
in. I forget how this works. I have to scroll over here. Yeah.
There we go. First word, voice. There we go.
There's an E.
Okay, there's an E. Okay. Earth.
There's an H.
There's an H, okay.
Heart.
No A, no R, no T.
No T. Want it to start with an H.
You want it to start with an H?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then go with an E next. LPS, helps. It's not going to be the word, but it might help us get to the word. Okay. We're in the spot. Shell. Or shelf. SHELF.
Say that again?
Shelf. SHELF.
Shelf.
Like a shelf.
I didn't know what you were saying. And it's right.
Let's go.
I don't know. I was like, what are you trying to say?
Shelf.
Why do you say it like that?
Shelf.
Shelf. Yeah, you say it weird.
Shelf.
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 How do I say it weird? Like, what is it? Okay, impersonate me. Shelf.
Shelf. I guess it sounds right. Shellfish.
Shellfish.
Self. Shelf.
Yeah, that was good work.
That was.
That was a good win.
That's how you don't win.
That's how you don't win.
And you know why? We end on wins because we can't lose.
Cajunomics Classic tonight. Be there. Pet that dog. 20% off. TIGERS. Go Tigers.
Get shit-faced in the box tonight.
Pause.
Shelf.
But we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving nails like I know love and I can't